G'day guys, how you doing here? CZ, and I'm just doing this semi-quick video to show you guys how I keg. Now, I wasn't going to do this, but there's lots of different videos out there that you guys can watch on YouTube, and that's totally fine. Do whatever you want. But I guess I'm just putting something out there for what I do, because at the end of the day, when it comes to brewing and lots of things in life, consistency really makes all the difference. If something's working for you, whether that's brewing beer, making bread, or whatever you want to do, if you're consistent with what you like and you're getting the same results, then just keep doing it. But it's still good to try new things. I've tried a few ways, but to be completely honest, the way that I'm going to show you was the first way that was shown to me when I walked into the home brew store to get some advice after Vic, Phil and Taz kindly donated this keg and another keg which is in that fridge to me to get me started. So I'm just going to show you how I started and what I now do. Now, anyway, let's just get to it. Okay, so first things first, you sanitize everything. Okay, sanitize. What I do is I like to put a bit of CO2 in this. You can do it with a fair bit of boiling water just to test the seals. Spray a Star San. I had a bit of an issue with this before, but it's all fine now. And yeah, so everything's sanitized and ready to go. Now, I like to use an auto siphon, okay? And basically that just makes things a bit easier. You can also get a tube like this diameter, food grade, and shove it right to that spigot there, the tap, and that works fine as well. Sometimes if it's not clear enough, or if the yeast hasn't dropped out of suspension too much, you can get a bit of that yeast coming through when you're doing it that way. But hey, whatever works for you. As I said, consistency, and if you like it, then just go for it, okay? So, I'm going to show you how I keg. Okay, so I'm lowering the siphon, the auto siphon, into the beer. I keep this little edge on the end, which actually helps with getting rid of some sediment. Not a huge issue if you take it on and off, it doesn't really matter, but I like to use that. So I'll lower it in on the side so I can see how far down it goes. Alright. Get a little clip like this. Go. Now I'm just going to take the lid off, pull it up. Alright, lower it down. This is all gravity fed, so no issue there at all. Give this a few pumps. 2 or 3, 2 should be enough though. 1, 2. And here we go. Alright. Down it goes into there. Looking all very nice. Now, you guys don't have to wait for me to, obviously fill this whole thing up, but I will be back soon. Alright guys, so the keg is full. Just filled it up. I tried to do it just below the post, but I didn't quite have enough, but that's totally fine. Fill it up as much as you can, or bottle if you need to, leftovers, whatever. Now, locked it all up. Going to put some CO2 on it so I can purge it. Alright, so you connect your gas line. Alright, that's on there nice and tight. Turn it up to about 10 psi. There we go. And I like to purge maybe 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 for good measure. Okay, now this is where I might differ from some other people, but it works for me. Okay, so I don't have autofocus on this, I don't think. But anyway, I'm going to turn this up, believe it or not, to 40 psi. Okay, the key is once you turn it up to 40, you've got to leave it there for exactly 24 hours. Exactly. So I think it's roughly 5:30 now. 5:30 tomorrow, I need to come in here and check it. All right. So this is what we do. Turn it up to 40. Alright, there we go. Just check that. That's 40. Yep, 40. Alright. Leave this here for 24 hours. And what happens is, if the beer, well, I'll come back in 24 hours and I'll show you what it looks like. If after 24 hours is done, you reduce it down to pour pressure, so around 10 psi. You then purge everything, let it get back up to 10, and then you connect it to your beer line, give it a taste. All right. It's not going to be 100% clear, but if the carbonation is to your liking at that level, then just leave it, let it sit for a few days and let it clear out if you want. If it's not, you can just leave it overnight for about 20 psi and then test it every day and see what it's like. Once it hits the spot for you and the way that you like your beer, this one here is basically a lager ale, so it's using a Cooper's lager kit, but it's got an extra kilo of dry malt extract and a whole bunch of Cascade hops. I might like this one a little bit more carbonated, so on a hot day I can really enjoy this, but just play it by ear. But 24 hours at 40 psi for me has been a really good way to get fairly decent carbonation in a very short period of time without agitating the keg, mixing things around a bit. But that's just me, guys, you know, each to their own. But anyway, I'll see you soon. Okay guys, so it's 5:30 the following day. Kegs here, ready to be purged. So we turn this as far down as we can. It may not show up on the needle straight away anyway. That's totally okay. Alright, and purge. We'll see where it's at. 20. So we'll keep turning that down until it gets to 10. Purge again. Almost to 10. 10 exactly. Okay, it's looking good. Alright guys, let's see how this beer looks after 24 hours, 40 psi. Not bad. Not bad at all. It's actually relatively clear for the short amount of time. I'll put it in the natural light, see if you can see it better. See that carbonation? Good stuff, guys. It's good stuff. Good carbonation. And as I said, if you want, I'll give it a taste. Nice, refreshing light beer with a hint of Cascade. If you want to bump up the carbonation a bit, just remember 20-25 psi overnight or something like that, or you can leave it for a few days at 15-20 psi, whatever. And then just take a few sips every now and then and see how you feel, and then leave it at the pouring pressure when you got what you want. Cheers, guys. Alright, but there's definitely carbonation now. Hopefully I can